Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going over 5 tips for beginners, so when you're just starting out in a very vast world that is Elden Ring. So the first tip I have for you involves a site of grace. These are places that are basically the fast travel, and you can do a lot of other things here, but the tip I have today is about resting at the site of grace and going down to your flasks. Now depending on what kind of character you've had, you want to go to Allocate Flask charges, and that's going to give you an option to change between being able to restore your magic or being able to restore your health. So if you've chosen a warrior or something like that, you're not really going to have no magical ability at the beginning of the game, so you're much better off having an extra flask for health at the beginning of the game. And vice versa, if you have a magical staff from the off, you're going to want to put it to maybe 2-2, something like that, so you have more ability to regenerate your magic. So that's tip number 1, something to do right at the beginning of the game to sort out your flasks. Tip number 2 involves the map. As you can see, we've already found one piece for the map, and if you move over to this part where we haven't found the piece, the way you find them is by visiting these little monuments that just show up on the map when it's even grey. You can see if we go down here, there's another one, and these are the areas where you're going to find the map to fill this in, which I think is a really good tip to know at the beginning, because that's when you're going to need to do this. Next up, we've come to a different playthrough. You can see I've unlocked a lot more of the map here, and the reason I've come here is to show you some of the markers that I have. For example, look at this diamond marker here. You can't see anything on the map saying there's something there, but there is in fact something there. It's a merchant. And the way you get these markers down is you press square, and it gives you an option of loads of different markers you can place anywhere on the map based on whatever you find. So if you find a rare plant, for example, you can mark it so you can come back. I use the diamond for merchants. I like to use these little flag posts for just points of interest and things like that. Obviously, people, if you find people and a monster that you want to fight, you can mark that as well. So I think the markers are really strong to use, and I like to use them throughout. You can see I've got a marker here for a person and a few points of interest, and I'm sure I'll have a lot more marked as I explore the whole map. The next tip we have for you is when you come across people in the world. Now obviously when you speak to them, they're going to speak back to you, but you want to make sure that you keep digging and talking to them over and over, because they might not give you, say, an item or a long story sometimes, or sometimes it can be a quest, things like that. So you don't want to just give up after you've pressed triangle once and they've finished talking. As you can see from my first conversation, I've got the sitting sideways. The third conversation gave me the spirit jellyfish ashes. The 5th conversation gave me a little task. So I spoke to this girl 5 times in total, and 3 times she gave me something different. So you want to make sure that you're digging into the characters that you meet, just to make sure you're getting all the information, items and tasks that they have to give. And the final tip I have today is save the golden runes you find around the world, and you might as well store as many as you can for when you find something you really want. So the reason I like this one is because when you die, you drop all the runes you've collected during that life, then you need to return to that area to pick them back up, and if you die on the second time, then unfortunately you lose them altogether. But by collecting your golden runes, you get to collect as much runes as you want without the risk of losing them when you die. So when you do come across something that you really want to buy, you can go ahead and sell these, and as you can see, I've got 99 of the smallest ones and 30 stored, so you can go ahead and sell them. They go for 200 each. These ones go for 400. Oh, my messages are being appraised, which is kind of cool. I've just come over to the merchant to just confirm those prices, so you can just see how much runes this becomes after you collect the load. So when you find something really cool down the line, you're not going to have a problem putting the runes together to buy it if you use this method. I'm going to leave this one there anyway. If you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching as always, and take it easy.